artist, athlete. God comes first. Snapchat. Baseball, basketball, and football are the best sports. Standing is the name. Baseball is the game.
So that's Sandquist. That's Sandquist's Instagram bio.
How does he have 1,119 followers?
Who's he following?
Wait a
He's following almost 1,800 people.
Oh, yes, that explains it.
I was like, what the fuck?
Fun fact about Sandquist, I bet half those followers are like Minnesota Twins staff that his parents paid him to follow Sandquist. What is the deal with that? Why does he get to do that stuff with the Twins? Abby, do you know why?
What
Because
stuff?
he's gonna go pro, and he will be on the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, what does that even... Okay, first
He
of all...
will be on the Minnesota Triplets when that happens.
That's pretty funny.
See, it doesn't really make sense, but it's so funny.
It wasn't that funny. That's why I kind of fake laughed. But it was pretty clever. I had never thought about that before. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot I'm not allowed to criticize you on this show, Abby. So, I apologize. No, that was no. Okay, whatever.
Okay, what I don't get is it's like actually people who follow him.
What?
Like actually real people.
Does anybody here remember when Bailey was only followed by Chinese people?
No.
I'm sorry.
This might have been a thing, but Bailey had let me see if it's still.
Okay.
At one point, all of his followers were bot followers.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
It was a bunch of foreign people.
There was one time where me and Abby were hanging out, and Abby was just clowning on me for how low my Instagram follower count was.
Look at this.
What?
Oh, what the hell?
None of them have profile
They're probably bots. Dude, anyways, so Abby, right? She was clowning on me. She's like, your ratio is so bad. My ratio, by the way, is less than 1 or over 1. What's it? I'm following less people than are following me, right? Mm-hmm. She was clowning on me. Meanwhile, Marcus was there. Marcus has 100 more followers than me, but he's following 1,000 people. He has 400 followers and he's and so I was really like, Abby, why? I literally thought you were mad at me for something, and we had a discussion about that, and I was like, why were you just clowning on me? You're being so relentless.
I don't know why. I don't remember that.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't really care.
I was very stubborn about my Instagram a while ago. I didn't follow a lot of people that I probably should have been following. And I had to follow.
Sometimes she doesn't follow some people, and she'll be like, oh yeah, I feel kind of weird if I follow them now.
Yeah, so I just can I say a name?
Yeah, I know one of them.
Okay, well, I just followed Kyle on Instagram because I didn't know I wasn't following.
I mean, that's up to you if you want to say the name, but
it doesn't matter. He won't listen to this. But
that's one time we had this game, right, where we played Heads Up, but I have a deck where I made a custom one where I filled it with everybody from our grade, right?
That was so cool.
And so basically it'd be oh, he's in baseball and he's got blonde hair or whatever, and then we'd play the game like that.
Who was in baseball that has blonde hair?
I don't know, it's just an example. Let me just tell the story.
Simon.
Perfect.
Oh.
Wait, what did you say?
Simon.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah, thanks, Abby.
Oh wait, in our grade.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't have Borndale in it. And so we played with Borndale. He's like, I'm in it, right? I'm
that's
right.
For sure. I remember this story.
Right. So it's pretty embarrassing.
Did you have to add him?
No.
Yeah, but I had all these other people that I barely, I've never talked to that, so everybody's like, who are these people? And I'm like, oh, they're just kind of people that were in my class one year or whatever. And Borndale, one of my best friends at the time, wasn't even in the thing. So he was really like, oh, wow, handsome. That was a year ago, so water under the bridge. All right, anyways, what was I going to talk to you about? Abby, do you realize that having VK on this podcast is breaking a record on this podcast that you currently hold?
What is the record?
For the longest time ever taking a break between episodes.
Oh.
So
that's not my fault.
No, I never said it was your fault. I'm saying you are not a record holder.
Oh.
23, I think, is the magic number. Because it was
How do you know this?
Abby, because you were on 20 episode suspension.
Oh. Alright.
That's weird to think it's been that many weeks.
It is. First of all, the last since I guess because of the coronavirus, it was all those ones we did on Zoom were just like, I don't know. Those ones just blew past.
Yeah.
Like it's almost been half of them have been at that point.
The one podcast you did, like the finale with everybody on the Xbox or whatever, that one was really funny.
Thank you.
Henry made me laugh. He just like came and joined in.
Right. Well, that was the joke, because everybody was joining in like one at a time, and then Burrow joined in and then left. Well, Jack Dunn left. A bunch of people are leaving on that one, but who cares?
But didn't Jack Dunn join again?
Yeah, Jack. It was just like, yeah, people were leaving. Burrow left for a different reason. Let's just say that. Okay. So, anyways.
What?
Okay. So, Aaliyah, this is your first time on the podcast.
Yes, it is.
I wanted to ask you if you had any stories you wanted to tell.
Sure.
Being that it's your debut episode.
Okay, I'll tell my story.
Okay.
So, as nobody knows, I am a caretaker for disabled adults.
Okay.
I love my job. It's great, but sometimes it sucks. So, one day, I was with my client, and she was about to take out the trash, as she normally does on Saturdays. And she was kind of like feeling she was acting a little weird today, and I didn't really quite know what was going on. I didn't give her any drugs yet, because
Okay.
I thought we would have a good day. Normally, if she's pissed at me, I'll just give her a bunch of drugs, and then she'll.
It sounds like you the best day that you could have with these people is giving.
Exactly.
Right.
You just gotta give them some drugs, and they will calm down.
Right.
So
They're prescribed.
Right. Prescribed jokes.
they are prescribed.
Those
drugs.
are the okay days. The best days are when you get those unprescribed drugs.
Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribed.
Okay, so we grab all of our things. She grabs her trash and her recycling, and we head out the door. And as we're walking, she starts to make these weird noises. And I look at her and I'm like, Hannah, what's wrong? She was like, this trash is just so heavy, I can't hold it anymore. And I was like, Hannah, you do this every single weekend. I didn't think that the trash weight would be a factor today. And she just kept complaining, and she just kept getting extremely mad about this trash weight. And I was like, look, we're almost to the bin. You can do it. I was trying to be encouraging and just tell her, like, you're going to make it. Everything will be okay. You'll put it in the bin, and you'll be fine. So we get there, and we are, like 2 feet away from the trash bin, and she just completely gives up. And then I told her that she should just put it in the bin, and she got mad at me. So then she took the trash and the recycling, and she threw them at me. And then she ran. They do this thing called eloping, where when they get upset, they like to run away from the apartments. So she ran down the street, and I had to chase her, and I had to call my boss, and it was just not a good day for me. So that is my story about my magical job that I enjoy so much. I just got a raise.
Didn't she throw a
congratulations.
chair at you?
Yes, she also threw a chair at me.
So what? Question: the garbage was it any heavier than it usually is?
No.
I thought the end of the story was gonna be like, yeah. So she put the trash down and she threw away like some dumbbells or something like that from working
She
out.
doesn't really have anything in her trash aside from like rotten food. She's not allowed to have access to many
I thought she was
things.
just gonna drop it all over the pavement and like
No,
empty
she
it.
threw it
It's
at
gonna
me.
spill
She
out.
threw it at me, and
Okay,
I had
but
to
she complains about the weight, but she can throw it at me.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hannah didn't get her sticker for the day, so it's fine.
Well, that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna try to segue into some joke, but I didn't want to I don't know how to.
It's hard to do without.
Right. Well, not like a being a dick joke, but like, how can I segue this into the story I was gonna tell? You know, people who work at jobs like you, Aaliyah, sometimes when they start their jobs, they don't know how to do their job. Kind of like this today when I went to Burger King.
Oh.
So I went to Burger King. The reason I went to Burger King is because my mom had leftovers. I woke up this morning. I was on my phone. I went downstairs to get some food. And my mom said we had leftovers because she went out to eat last night with some of her friends. or she got like went through like the drive-through or something like that, and they're like these garlic cheese things from this restaurant. And Henry ate mine that she was saving for me, so I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna drive to Burger King. And working in the drive-through myself, I tried not to make mistakes in the drive-through that I know will piss off the people in the drive-through. So I was being very careful. I was trying to read the menu so I would know what I wanted before I ordered. But one thing I had seen on this menu that I didn't see before is that everything at Burger King for some reason now is ridiculously expensive. Because I remember it always being really cheap. But this meal that I was eyeing up was like $9. I'm like, that's like the price of where I work. And where I work, it's already ridiculously overpriced to begin with. But that's because that's kind of like a nicer restaurant. It's not Burger King, where all the workers are on some sort of drug.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure out what I wanted, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to get this burger. And I saw the burger was just $6. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this burger. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can get some fries and get a drink at home. And so I'm like, I want a drink, or I didn't say I want a drink. I want this burger and I want fries, right? And the guy's like, okay, that'll be like $9.40. I'm like, that's more expensive than the meal is. How could that's less? I didn't even get a pop, and it's less. So I go up to the drive-thru. He's like $9.40. I'm like, does that come with? Is that a meal? And he's like, yeah, it's a meal. And I'm like, does it come with a drink? He's like, I don't know. Let me ask someone.
Every meal
comes with
And so then I realized there must be just a bunch of people working, and like, there was nobody. There was one car in the entire parking lot, so I didn't even know if they were open. But when I pulled up to the thing, they said, "Hi, welcome to Burger King. What can I get for you?" And I said, "Give me a second." And when I work at my job, I'll say, "Okay, let me know if you have any questions." And I'll turn off the thing, and then I'll wait for them to say any questions or to order. But I think I didn't know if they were trying to clown on me or if it was just an accident. But literally 1 second later, someone else goes, "Hi, welcome to Burger King." I'm like, "Oh, they're clowning on me."
Oh no.
So this other person comes in and she's like, "What would you like to drink?" I'm like, I don't even want a fucking drink, but if it comes with the meal that I'm apparently ordering, so I'm like, "What do you got? Coke or Pepsi product?" She's like, "Coke." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take a mellow yellow." That sucks anyways. So then they're like, "Okay, your new total is $10.40. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "We upgraded it to a meal." And I'm like, "Well, you said it was already a meal, and it was more expensive than the thing on the menu, and now it's even more expensive. So now I'm getting $10.40 for Burger King, which I didn't even want to begin with, and a pop that I didn't want, and a small fry, which is apparently with the meal."
A small fry?
Yeah, it's a small fry, and it's $10. So then I go to this parking lot, and I'm drinking the pop, and I'm like all disappointed. Then I pull the burger out, and it's ridiculously huge. Like, it's humongous, bro. It's bigger than I couldn't fit in the palm of my hand. And then I realized they must have like mistaken that I wanted the double, like, deluxe version of this burger. So I was all mad.
Well, you got your money's worth now, so.
Yeah.
Speaking of people being mistaken,
What a segue.
I thought it was good.
Your segue levels will one day get to the levels of mine where I pulled something out of my ass, but
No, so I was at I work at, and I was there.
Hold on just a second.
God,
I
okay.
don't know if you can say that.
Okay. Well,
Just in case.
so I work at a pizza place,
Okay.
and I was just chilling. It was pretty slow. I had to close, so I was just kind of standing in my area, which is by the door, because I take phone calls and I have to give people their food. So I'm just like chilling, right? And I'm on the phone, and I see someone from Pizza Hut come in. I'm like full like outfit with like a bag of pizza, like, you know, the delivery driver bag of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's weird. Like, this is shit. Like.
This is a pizza place.
This is another pizza place. Like, in the
by the
same
way,
town.
can I say it? One of the reasons that it's taken me so long to ask you back is because the last episode you were on, it was the most editing I've ever had to do. There would literally be a sentence where you were talking about your school,
Okay,
and
that
you were
was so
like,
hard.
"Dude, there was just one teacher at beep named Beep, and she was such a beep. Like, oh, this teacher Beep was such a beep. Like, she was such a beep. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. It was Bailey. It wasn't you. But But it was you, and I think Josh and Bailey, and it was just like, oh my god.
Bailey was so bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm like on the phone at my pizza place, my job. This other guy, like from Pizza Hut, comes in, like delivering a pizza to the pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so my manager walks up. You know, I find that a little odd considering we have our own pizza. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, do they need something from us to make pizzas?
Uh-huh.
So then he goes, does someone named Mary work or not work? He said, is someone named Mary here? We're like, no. He's like, oh, well, this is the address I got to deliver this pizza.
Oh, so they got, okay.
So he just literally, like, for the next 10 minutes, so he got back in his car because my boss was, like, low-key bitchy and was like, no, we don't have anyone named Mary here. And first of all, he came in the restaurant, and this was when everything was closed, and there's, like, 3 signs on their door that say, like, this restaurant is closed to the public, and he came in anyways.
Oh, so it's, oh, okay.
So then for the next 10 minutes, he's just, like, circling the parking lot.
Oh, no.
It's like, where is this person?
Mary.
And it turned out he never got the pizza delivered because
It was probably a prank call.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
poor guy.
disappointing though.
If he,
like, why would you like even like do that though?
right, but you would have known it was a prank call if you walked in and asked for someone named Joe.
Yeah. Mary had a little pizza.
No, but like why? Like if you like work at a pizza place and you're delivering to another pizza place, don't you think that maybe you should stop and like maybe like not go in?
Well, I don't know.
The pizza was
For the sake of like not embarrassing yourself?
One time I was at
No.
Fuck. One time I was at a certain pizza place.
Actually, it doesn't matter because you already said. She said that the guy from the other pizza place
But
came in.
Pizza Hut is different.
Yeah, well, there's more than one pizza place in the world, Abby.
Oh, there's more than one. Yeah.
They have
Okay,
like
no,
16
listen.
locations.
Listen. So the reason that we can't say where she works is because she just said that her boss was being bitchy that one night. So let's say her boss listens to this, she would know, oh, what the hell? But there's more pizza places in town, is what I mean. There's so if she says she works at a pizza place, that isn't specific enough to be like, okay, you know, we had to cut that out. But I was at a pizza place, or I was at the pizza place where you work at, VK, and but this is when I was like 2 years old or some shit like that. I ordered a pizza, and it was like 2 hours until they gave me the pizza, and then they come up and they're like, sorry, we're out of cheese.
What?
We're just like, go buy some cheese then.
Wait a minute, how do you remember these memories?
I don't. Someone told me that story. That's not an actual memory that I have.
One time I ate there when I was younger. Like, I wasn't working there because I also used to work at the pizza place that Veronica worked at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was eating pasta, and all of a sudden I felt a little tickle in my throat. And I was like, what is going on? And I reach in there, and I pull out a purple and black strand of hair that's this long. And I can still, like, I can feel, like, the sensation that it felt like.
Oh,
it was just,
gross.
Like, scratching all the way up.
You're going to make me gag.
Actually, that's delicious.
I love these podcasts. I've never done a podcast where it's all girls before, but I'm learning that you guys are just talking. You're having your own conversations during it.
I was going to ask if we could swear. That's what I was
Oh, yeah, you can swear.
Okay.
It's your choice to swear. I'm not going to force you to swear.
Yay!
Yeah. Don't feel pressured not to swear. So, VK, I've heard something that you've had a birth in the family recently. Okay, Chantil, you want me to pause for a second?
Continue.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna have to start from the top. You
Start
understand this?
Start
from the beginning.
Okay. So
It
here I can do this for you. So in the beginning there was nothing, and then God said, "Let there be light." Was that too far back?
I thought you were gonna like say like let there be kittens.
No. Kittens.
Do you want me to say it like that? Because I feel like now I have to actually focus on my pronunciation.
You can say it however you want. I just thought it was funny the first time I heard it.
Naturally.
But it's just like it's just such a running joke at this point where I feel like it would be less funny if you didn't say
Yeah.
kittens.
Fine. So should I go now?
Just say
Just tell the story.
Okay, so 2 or 3 years ago, this little girl walked up to us and she had a little black kitten. She asked us if we wanted it, and we said yeah, why not? This girl was 7.
Okay.
So we took her kitten and we brought it home. And I had already had one cat. His name was
Don't worry, you can say the cat's name. I don't have to believe it.
I'm trying to remember.
Doris, Chucky,
Pepe.
Nell.
Pepe.
Pepe?
Yeah, and we had gotten him. Sorry, he just died a few months ago. Actually, on my
What the
birthday.
fuck?
He died on my birthday.
Oh.
Forgot about that.
He was really cute. Anyways,
No, you did that story just took a dark turn. Now I'm sad.
well, that's why I forgot his name.
You forgot his name?
That's why I had
He just died. I thought this cat was one that you had a couple of years ago, or a really long time ago.
No.
No. What?
What's that noise?
His feet.
It's my feet on the ground.
Oh, I thought it was rain. Okay, so this little girl gives us a kitten. We take it home to my other cat, Pepe, who is fixed. Okay, no balls for Pepe. And, she's doing fine. She's a kitten, so she's playful. Well, one night, I don't know how it happened, but she, got out of the house. She had been going into heat because she wasn't fixed. We didn't need to get her fixed.
Wait, so there's 2 cats named Pepe?
No. What? There's
Wait.
one. Okay, I'll.
No. Just wait. No, you don't have to retell the whole story. What was the other cat not
So
named
the
Pepe?
kitten's name was Slinky, and then
Okay.
I had the other cat that I had before Slinky, which was Pepe.
Pepe.
He's the one that just died.
The black.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
getting it now.
Slinky is the girl who had just started going through heat. We had no need to get her fixed because Pepe didn't give a shit. Pepe was an old cat
Correct.
and fixed. Even if he wasn't, he didn't have the energy to do anything. So one day Slinky gets out of the house somehow. And-
Slinky got kinky.
Slinky goes.
Slinky got kinky. And so we didn't really think anything of it because she came home, right? Well, this one night, I hear her in the garage because we would let her in the garage when the garage was shut so she could just catch mice. And we hear her a meowing, and I thought she was in the garage. And she wasn't in the garage. So I thought she got out. So I went to go look for her. I thought she was stuck under my canoe outside.
Okay.
Well, so I go and I'm walking by my canoe and this random stray cat jumps out, scares the shit out of me.
Okay.
And I'm what the fuck? So I don't know why I'm making this story so long. So and anyways, Slinky got
don't worry.
pregnant.
I took 10 minutes to tell a story about me going to Burger King.
So anyways, Slinky gets pregnant by the stray cat that scared the shit out of me, right?
Okay.
And she has these kittens. She's not even a year old, which is kind of mind-blowing. And so she has these kittens. She has 4. One died because my dog ate it, but I didn't know that until this year.
Wow.
I guess
Your
she-
dog ate a kitten?
Not ate it, but she bit it. And then
oh my
it
God!
died.
Stop! Oh, stop! You're making me sad, bro. I thought this was this story. I was anticipating it to be really nice or funny, something happened.
It'll get funnier.
Kittens are being born or whatever, and you're just oh yeah, so my dog, yeah, he killed my cat. He ate it. Well, he didn't eat it. He bit it and then it bled out. We actually watched it. It was pretty sad.
Dumb ways to
I
die,
didn't
man,
watch
I
it.
tell ya.
Dumb ways to die. Get bit by a dog.
So, one dies, so we give one away. And then we just kept the other 2 because we thought they were both girls, and we were why not?
My mom was gonna take them.
Yeah, they're really cute, and they were really close. We had some, guilt about separating them. They
I think
looked
you
the
asked me to
same.
adopt one of them.
I asked, Marcus was supposed to, then he was I'm gonna put it, and I was okay, Marcus.
Yeah, that's a very Marcus thing to say. I think you punt it. Yeah.
Yeah, punt, not put.
Put it wouldn't have
Anyways.
hurt that as much.
So, the kitten, the original kitten,
I'm sorry.
raises her other kittens, and these 2 kittens grow up only to realize that one is indeed a male.
Oh.
And right as this discovery becomes upon us, Corona happens, which means we can't go to the vet and get him fixed. So...
Wait, the vets were closed?
Yeah.
Are the vets still closed?
No.
Oh.
So, well, what really happened first was, like, we realized that, she was pregnant. Like, one of the... Fuck. I forget how confusing this can get. So, Slinky had 2 kittens that we kept. Sid and Nancy. Sid is the boy and Nancy is the girl.
Okay.
But, obviously, we thought Sid was a girl because its name is Sid.
Sid?
Yeah, like Sid and Nancy.
Was it named Sid? Oh, it's coincidental that Sid is also a guy's name.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean, yeah, I guess? There's more dudes named Sid than there are girls.
Well, like, Sydney.
Sydney.
How
Okay.
did you not know I was a guy?
Because when they're...
They're too scared to look.
No, when they're kittens, you can't tell. And, like, this, like...
Oh, that makes sense.
There's, like, a gap between, 7 to 10 months where, like, they can get another cat pregnant, but you don't necessarily know they're male. Unless, like... Because it kind of gets, like... They kind of look the same, the parts. Like, at that age.
For cats, yeah.
Yeah, for cats. And so he gets his sister pregnant.
Okay.
Sid gets Nancy pregnant, and Nancy has more kittens.
That are
So
incestual.
That are incest kittens. So at this point,
Alabamian
I have... At this point,
Cross-eyed kittens.
this was before Pepe died. So at this point, I had 8 cats.
Okay.
With the kittens that had just been born. And then I'm like, why is Slinky, like, feeding these kittens? Only I realized Slinky is pregnant now. So not only did he knock up his sister and have incestual kittens, he also knocked up his own mother,
Mom.
who was feeding her daughter's kittens while pregnant with her own. So it was just kind of a mind fuck.
How did I not ever know this?
I was so waiting for you to say that the first the first cat wasn't fixed, and then that the old cat had sex with the younger cat, and I was so waiting. I was waiting for you to say that. I was gonna save the joke. I was gonna say, so Pepe was a pedo. I was so excited to tell that joke, and then the story went a completely different way. But I was still satisfied with the result.
So I guess this really isn't as funny because I realized it's, anyways.
No, it's pretty funny.
Well, so one day, Slinkers. This is about a month after the sorry, we call her Slinkers.
This nickname that I've never heard before for the cats.
So I hear like meowing, right? The kittens are like a month old, so I'm like, oh, it's like, why are they being so annoying? Like, are they like trying to fight over food?
Okay.
But then they're all on the cat tree. So I'm like, why is it coming from the other side of the room when they're all like over here? So then I go and I look, and behind this like buffet we have, which like a human cannot reach behind, only a cat could fit. It has like a hollow, so there's like cabinets, but there's like a foot that's hollow behind it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's kind of like more like if a cat got back there, it can kind of roam around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A little bit. Well, Slinky had her other kittens back there.
Okay.
Well, because she was feeding her daughter's kittens, she like abandoned the other ones, so they just died behind my buffet. All of them.
What the fuck? Once again, this story was going so well.
So I had like 12 kittens.
Oh my
They died
god.
of starvation.
Yeah, I know.
That sucks. That's so sad.
Because she like attached to the other kittens because of her pregnancy hormones. Like she had like
Sure.
a motherly instinct.
Right.
But she attached to like the wrong batch. And so they just died.
How did you dispose of the corpses?
We had to like get like 4 people to move this like 700-pound like cabinet thing that goes across our entire wall.
This whole story about like a
and
mom.
then I guess my dad found one like under the bed.
Oh my god.
She...
Hey VK, look what I found! A dead cat! This whole story about like a mom abandoning her kids in favor of like some other ones.
You should sell these to our school when we do the dissections.
Yeah. That's so fucked up!
On kittens?
Yeah, I think that's like
Why not?
like an actual
already
cat.
did it.
Should I
Cats
like
and
raise
anatomy.
them? Should I
That's what
just
I'm saying.
like
That's what she's saying.
raise
Like
them?
for anatomy, this like VK. Hey, you want to buy my dead cats?
No, I'll just
She'll
like
just keep getting more.
She'll just put them in her freezer.
no, I'll just
They're
like raise them
incestuals.
and then
Yeah.
drop
See
them
with
off.
their cross
You have a
eyes,
bug
too.
in your hair.
Where?
Well,
Okay,
every time you go like this and ask where, I don't know where it is.
I feel like this whole story of like the cats and the incest and the you're lucky that that ABC isn't listening to this because I feel like they would use that as a plot line on General Hospital or something. It seems like a very soap opera-esque story.
I like Grey's Anatomy.
Mm.
I mean, that's an ABC.
That was a funny. I think that was actually there's an episode that VK was on where we were just asking her like what TV shows you like to watch or something like that, and I was like, what, like Vampire Diaries, Grey's Anatomy? She's like, here, what was it? She like looked at her phone or something,
Oh yeah.
and then she's like, well, actually, the last thing I watched was it was Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, right now, I think it is. Let's see.
I hope it's something good.
It's Grey's Anatomy
I actually think it is.
or General Hospital.
13 Reasons Why, Grey's Anatomy. Then that 70s show,
Mine's
Outer
just been The
Banks.
Office. I've actually
I don't
been
like
watching
The Office.
a lot.
VK.
Unpopular.
That's an unpopular opinion. Fun fact about 13 Reasons Why. So me and my so the show, if you have seen the show, you probably know that it's kind of a fucked up show.
Yeah.
And my parents wanted to watch the first season with me
Oh
Um,
no.
Of 13 Reasons
of
Why.
13 Reasons Why because they thought it was like an important thing about mental health.
Oh.
However, that was more about the first season. The second season was more of a teen drama, I guess you could say. And there were a lot of graphic scenes in that show. And, you know, maybe it's fine when you're watching Game of Thrones with your dad and, like, people are killing each other and, you know, maybe there's some nudity. But when you're watching it with your mom, that's kind of a completely different scenario. So one time I was maybe I was doing a podcast or something. I was downstairs for some reason. I come upstairs, and they were watching season 3, and season 3 came out like 2 years ago, and I haven't seen it yet.
Season 3?
Yeah. So
Yikes. That's the where...
okay, just don't spoil it because I haven't seen it yet.
Why
But
are you talking about season 3 if you haven't seen it?
because let me fucking tell my story, huh? So there, I was like, what the fuck? Why are you watching this without me? And they're like, what do you mean? You have not wanted to watch the show. Like, it's been like 3 years since we watched season 2, and now you just all of a sudden want to watch season 3. And I'm like, well, no, but I thought we were gonna make the decision. She's like, oh, they're like, oh, bullshit. You're up in your room all the time. You know, why can't we just watch the show? I'm like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh, I have a good story.
And then I'm just like, okay, then I'll just watch it by myself. And they're like, no, why watch it with us? Because we watched the first seasons together. I'm like, well, no, you guys started without me. And then they finished season 3, and they're like, yeah, Lucas, if you want to watch season 3 by yourself, you know, don't worry. We don't want to watch that with you. It gets really cringe at some points. And I'm like, oh, I can understand that.
May I just say quickly, happy 4th of July.
Happy.
Shut up.
What are you guys
Happy
doing?
July of the 4th.
I
What do you-
actually have no plans.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say. I have no plans either because
Um,
everything is canceled.
Speaking
I'm
of
going
just
to a
like...
slipping slide.
That's pretty
You're
cool.
going to a slipping
Slipping
slide?
Slipping slide?
Yeah.
It's a slip and slide.
It's a homemade one and it's like huge.
Where?
Is it like one of those ones that's like...
You're going to hang out with boys.
Alright,
No,
shut
it's
up.
just
Stop
Dominic
saying
and his
silly names.
family.
What is it like one of those giant ones that's like a jump and then you go into like the
It's
lake
a
or whatever?
homemade
Do you
one,
put like
so
soap on it?
yeah, and he has like a pump thing, so it like filters the water at the end of the pool up to the top.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's
And it's
dope.
like so big and so long, and we take tubes down.
You
Okay, shit, though.
so big and so long, crazy. So you have to use those homemade ones because those like the ones like the name brand slip and slides suck
Yeah.
ass. Those things attract grass more than
Yeah.
anything ever.
Yeah. It's fun to put soap down the other slip and slides too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like the only time I've ever been on a slip and slide that wasn't like the shitty yellow name brand one that's made for like 2-year-olds apparently because they're so tiny was at John Braun's house one time. Man, VK, you're probably jealous you weren't there, huh?
No.
Remember when John Brown gave
Nah, shut up.
John Brown.
John Braun.
Do you... Wait. What happened when... Didn't he have to, like, lick someone's toes or
Nope.
something?
What?
Misremembering the story. I'll tell you that story when.
Simon had to bite his ear 12 times.
Oh yeah,
That's
Simon
what
had
it
to
was.
bite John Braun's ear at the cabin or at the camp out because
I said I made that one, didn't
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Because I could just.
Oh.
Okay, nope, just
So one time, Chantel's nail came off, like
Oh,
completely,
yeah.
like with her
I had-
acrylic. And
like the
we
whole
played,
thing.
Yeah.
Slammed it in a trunk.
So,
So you're just
we
skinned?
played what are
Oh,
the odds?
gross.
We played what are the odds with Aaliyah, and it's like, what are the odds that you eat
No,
Chantel?
I said that.
Okay, well, whatever.
It's not funny if you say it, Abby.
I just didn't remember.
Let me give credit for your joke to someone else, and then when you say that was actually me, oh fuck off. That's like yeah.
I don't.
It doesn't really apply to the story
Either
who
way.
said it.
Either way,
But-
we both said 7, and then
She
I
had
didn't
to.
make her do it.
Oh, are you actually?
No,
who
what
had to do it?
happened
You
was
didn't
we
do
couldn't
it,
find
did
the
you?
nail.
Yeah, we didn't know where the
Well,
nail
either way, I
was.
probably
It's
wasn't
somewhere
gonna
at-
do it because that's bad.
Joe Notch's house.
Dude, remember when we were at I think someone's house? I don't want to say the name, but we were at someone's house, and the thing was for Bailey to eat a spider.
Oh yes.
That was after a
I
football
remember
game one
that. I
time,
remember that.
and the what are the odds was that
And
Bailey
I
had to
found
eat a
the
spider.
spider. It's
Yeah.
I'm so good at what are the odds. I swear, I get the same number as everyone.
Yeah.
Like, every time.
I hate what are the odds is just because what are the odds is good because truth or dare nobody does any of the dares anyways.
Yeah, true. Chicken.
Like because you either do ones that are just so like easy and stupid or ones that are just so like
And then
I don't want to do that.
They use like the chickens or
Yeah, and then you're just like I got a chicken, and then it's just like well the thing you said is ridiculous and I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So this one time before I went to Colorado, I worked like 4 days in a row, and my dad had asked me every single day to bring him home soup,
Okay.
and so I had forgotten 3 days in a row.
Right.
So on my 4th day, well, actually one of the days I forgot it just like at work. So then, the 3rd day I was supposed to get paid. It was a Friday, and I forgot my paycheck. So
Mhm.
then on Saturday, the 4th day I worked, I like was supposed to get my dad soup because I was leaving for Colorado like the very next day, so he wouldn't
Mhm.
like have a chance to get soup if I didn't bring him that soup like that day.
Heaven forbid he drive to where you work himself and grab it.
That's like he texts me like I just look at my phone all the time at work.
Yeah.
And so I forgot the soup. And I remembered that on my drive home after I had drove back to get my paycheck
Oh.
and forgot the soup again.
Okay. So you didn't be like, I should get that soup.
Yeah. Well,
So you're like, you know what? I was driving home and I forgot. I realized I forgot it. I went back. So don't worry, I got my paycheck. And you're like, well, what the fuck? Where's the soup?
so let's see if I can find the video. So I took like a vlog because I knew my dad was gonna be mad at me because he had been like telling me to get this soup for him for 4 days, and
Wait.
each day he had gotten progressively more upset with me for forgetting his soup, which like was kind of stupid because how do I control what I forget?
I feel like it's significant
mean-
to know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
This was chicken wild
Hey
rice.
Siri, remind me to grab the soup.
That's what the soup was?
Yeah, chicken wild rice soup.
This is what he was.
Just go buy some
Disappointed,
from the fucking can and
Mike.
heat it up.
I need to find.
Fun
this
fact,
video.
VK, I actually have a very similar story. My grandparents, there's soup where I work as well, and they always ask me to text them if it's a very specific soup on the menu, because there's one soup every day,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, when do you think I have time to text
What
you
soup
when I'm
do
at
they
work?
want?
Tomato.
That
stuff's
Tomato.
I think it was
Florentine?
tomato Florentine.
Florida.
Maybe
that
it wasn't.
stuff is so good.
It's chicken wild rice is like everybody's favorite soup, and then
I
there's
like stuffed
I
green
think
pepper.
maybe broccoli,
Stuffed
maybe stuffed green
green
pepper or
peppers.
broccoli cheese or
I
something.
like
I don't
broccoli
remember.
cheddar.
Soups.
Yep.
Never had these soups before.
They're so good.
Actually, you guys know Fred, who works at where I work.
No.
No.
Well,
Can you describe him?
let's just say that's not his real name. It's his podcast name. His real name is this.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't read it.
Yes.
He's a common
Oh,
character on the
yes,
podcast
yes.
that we talk about. He actually one time I was doing dishes and he asked me to grab this Tupperware, this giant, well, not a Tupperware, but it's just giant like container, and I was like, okay, I guess he wants it for some whatever. He comes back because I was leaving my next shift and he was just coming in, and he had that container, and it turned out. Oh delicious towel. You guys are crazy.
Go ahead.
So then it turns out that he had brought soup home in a container from work. And then he washes it at home and then brings it back. And then brings the leftover soup home.
What?
It's pretty funny.
What?
Interesting.
I've never tried the soup while at work.
One time
to continue my soup story, I can't find the video, which is
fuck,
really
Chantil.
frustrating because I feel like it would really like just make this funnier. But so I was like on my Snapchat, I was like, also I put a filter on it, which I didn't realize was voice changing.
That was so
What are you doing?
And so so I'm like by my garage door. I'm like, so this is day 4 of me forgetting my dad's soup. Let's hope I don't like die. My dad's not a very strict parent. I've never been grounded in my entire life. And so I walk in, and of course he's just like in the kitchen, like right there. And so he's like, "Did you get my soup?" I was like,
He's like, he has like a baseball bat, and he's like walking with a cane. He's like, so Veronica, you remember my soup, right?
and I like didn't know what to say. I like was speechless, and he just like knew. He was like, no. I was like, yeah. He's like, how? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, how? And he was like extremely hurt by this, which was kind of a surprise. And he's like, you know what? You don't get to go out tonight. Go back and get my soup. And I was like, it's soup. And he was like, I don't care. I've asked you 4 days in a row. Go back and get my soup. And I was like, I'm not going back to get your soup. And he was like, fine, then you're grounded. I was like, you're going to ground me over soup? And he's like, now you have to cut the front and the backyard, which I never did.
Like mow the lawn?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, what? I was like, fine, as long as I'm not grounded. And he was just like, stared me down and just walked away. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, it's soup. Soup. He was gonna ground me over soup.
What means
soup
more
with
to some
that?
people, Veronica?
One time, the only time Dad has ever done something like that was one time I was at Abby's house, and we were at it was like kind of a party. It was a couple years ago. And basically, well, VK, you were there. Me, VK, Abby, and Alex Otto were there for like 3 a.m. just having a conversation about whatever was going on.
Wait, what?
It was the pancake party.
It was the one where we made pancakes.
Oh, at Abby's?
Yeah, that's what.
With
I
Ben?
already. What do you mean with Ben?
With Ben?
Tagline.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure.
He was there. So I get home at like 3 a.m. and I've been like, I didn't have my lesson at the time. He was like asking me when I was gonna come home, and I'm like, nah, I got a ride, don't worry. And he was literally just like standing right in the entry of the house with his arms folded, and I walked right around him and I went to the bathroom. And so I was like, I'm just gonna wait it out. And so maybe like 15 minutes later, I could just hear my dad's voice right outside the door, and he's like, I'm standing right here. Like, you're not gonna get away with this easily. And my mom was up. She's like, we don't go to bed until you come home because we're worried about it or whatever. We're worried that you guys are gonna like die or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just talking. And they're like, you were just talking until 3 a.m. I'm like, yeah, actually, like that was like 100% true. But whatever. It was that was like 2018. So
2018.
Do you remember me telling you the story about when Fred locked me in the cooler?
no, no way.
I was in the cooler, like,
Oh,
restocking something
At
or, like,
work, yeah.
getting
Didn't he,
something. And he, like, comes in and he, like, stands by the door and he shuts out the light and he's like, ooh.
No way.
And I was just like, where am I? It was so uncomfortable.
Wait, so he locked the door?
Well, he was standing by it.
Oh,
Like,
he- What I thought was that he like accidentally like
locked me in the cooler.
yeah like she goes like you're about your closing like Chantal goes in the cooler to grab something and then Fred walks by the door like bumps into it and he's like oops I locked the door and then when they open the next morning there's just like an ice cube with Chantal inside it was like fucking frozen. Just like
That was
help
like freshman
me.
year.
Okay, Lucas, I apologize for saying this, but I feel like working is just his ass.
Fucking. I know it's ass, but you didn't have to say the name of the fucking restaurant.
Sorry.
Actually, last episode, me and Jack Dunn talked about it the whole time. We were talking about how much I the people that have been coming in.
Different job.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
How much are you making there?
Okay, let's change the subject.
No,
Don't
like,
you get
I'm
paid under minimum wage?
Okay.
No, I actually want to know. I was getting
He gets paid
$8.25.
under minimum wage.
Are you?
Why don't you just get a new job?
Sorry.
It's uncomfortable.
This is an uncomfortable topic.
How do you I'll change it. How do you feel about missing the tennis season?
Oh, I'm so sad that well, actually,
You were the big picture on the yearbook.
yeah,
yeah.
what the fuck? Okay, this is something I haven't talked about yet. Whoever it isn't, I know. Well, actually, you know what? The people at the yearbook staff, I'd like to say, great effort not great effort, great job on this year's yearbook. And this isn't like, I know I kind of clown on the school a lot, but actually, like, the people, I know two specific people, I'm not going to name names, two specific people that are very passionate about the yearbook, and they always posting updates, and I'm like, oh, this is good that they're really into this yearbook. And the yearbook came out, and there's, on page maybe 4, there's a giant picture of me, and I look like a fucking idiot, because I'm playing tennis, and I'm mid-swing, I guess, and my mouth is open, and my hair is fucked, because I'm sweating, I guess. But the main...
It's huge. It's like half the thing.
Yeah, it's a big picture. So good job on the yearbook, but come on, you're making me look like a clown here.
That's what I don't get. It's like how they put so many bad pictures of
Like,
people
do
in
they
there.
not think before?
First of all, and it's just like, how do you have that many? There wasn't page numbers on half of it.
Okay.
I know. What
no,
was that?
No,
about?
no, guys, just stop. Just trust me.
Okay.
I've had this mistake before on this podcast. Don't badmouth the school.
Change the subject.
Yeah, no. Let's.
Page numbers.
I'm gonna. Well,
Veronica.
here's the thing. I bet if you asked them about that, they'd have this long ass argument as to why it's not their fault, and it probably isn't their fault because they have to they do all this shit for an entire year, then they send it to some
It's
dumbass
honestly
at a
probably
company.
The Jostens, it's probably their fault.
What is that? Like the company? That's what I'm saying. Like they probably send it.
Do page numbers.
They probably sent it the thing, and then it was all fucked. So.
But they're the ones who have to put whose name is or who's on what page.
Yeah, but
In the
yeah,
back.
that's what I'm saying. They probably have the page that every time that you look at the page number in the back, it's the correct page number, but the pages are in the wrong
I see
order.
what you mean.
So I'm saying that they probably spent a whole year doing this yearbook. They're really passionate about it. They put all this love and care into it, and they send it to some company that has to put it all together and manufacture it. And then that company has probably a fucking monopoly of yearbooks in Minnesota, and they completely fuck up the page numbers. Basically, what I'm saying is, good job. But the problem with my picture is there's a meme in tennis where, because for me, I have to wear sunglasses when I play tennis because I can't see in sunlight at all. That's why.
But why cloud goggles?
Because it's a meme. That's what I'm saying. I wear cloud goggles
Remember
because
when
it's
I
a
broke
joke.
your cloud goggles?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I fixed them though.
Yep. I was like all mad.
You
but
were
those...
so mad at me. You were like, I'm not gonna be able to wear them to Sadie's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the whole meme was me, Carl, and Jack were gonna wear these cloud goggles to Sadie's, and then VK broke mine a
Remember
couple days
when
before Sadie's.
Do you remember
people
the pizza video?
Carl's cloud goggles in Jello?
No, that was funny. Blake and Carlina,
I didn't know if I could say their name.
Oh yeah, well they've been on the podcast before actually. They put the Carl's cloud goggles in Jello, a la The Office. That was pretty funny. Anyways.
Do you remember the one video where we were trying to order a pizza?
Oh my god.
And Jake.
You just opened a dark memory of my past of a 4-part story,
Wait, what
which I'm not going to tell because it's too long. It's Abby, you've been there for probably 2 or 3 of them. Is the Jack Dunn pizza ordering
Oh, yes.
saga.
Well, okay, the thing, love Jack, but
Yeah.
every time we get pizza at his house, when we used to go
Yeah,
there.
when we used to hang out with Jack. Well, We all.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, I hang out with Jack. You hang out with Jack.
We
I hang
just
out with
don't
you.
hang.
We just don't hang out together.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
as all the three of us.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes, we used to, but we don't anymore. But anyways, yeah. So every time we've been at Jack's, I don't know, he gets what he wants, and then we kind of fend for ourselves. And we pay for part of it, but like he doesn't let us pick what it is.
Right. Well,
I paid $20
Like,
for
example,
that pizza that night, and I didn't get any money.
Okay, he accidentally ordered one with buffalo sauce. Which
okay,
I don't understand.
you're telling like 4 different stories at once.
I don't understand.
I'll
how
tell
he ordered
part
one with
2
buffalo-
of the pizza ordering.
Okay. He accidentally ordered one with buffalo sauce, and then it came.
Wait.
And he was like, "I didn't fucking want buffalo sauce," and then we had to eat the one with buffalo sauce, and he had to eat the regular cheese that we wanted.
No. So this is what happened. Okay, I'll tell the story how it actually happened.
That is how it happened.
Okay, no, how it actually happened makes Jack Dunn seem more of a dick.
Oh.
But I'll tell it anyways because it's how it was true. So there's this. This is the part 2 of the 4-part pizza Jack Dunn stories, where basically maybe it was 3. I think it was 3, but I remember them being 4. I don't remember the 4th one though. But basically this one time where me, Abby, Tommy, and Jack were at Jack Dunn's house, and we're gonna order a pizza. And when you order a pizza, what kind of pizza would you think that 4 people would share?
Cheese or
Pepperoni, or something that everybody likes. Jack Dunn doesn't like toppings on his pizza. Fun fact about toppings on a pizza is that you can take them off, especially if they're pepperoni. So if you're ordering a pizza as a group, if you order pepperoni and you don't like toppings, then you just say we're ordering fucking pepperoni, and you take the pieces off.
Or do half and half.
Yeah. So, what we did was Jack Dunn said, no, we're getting cheese. And none of us wanted cheese. So, he orders a large pepperoni pizza, or a large plain cheese pizza, and a medium pepperoni pizza, even though that's what most of us wanted. What you'd think he would do is he'd order a large pepperoni pizza for all of us, and then a medium cheese pizza for him. Well, what ended up happening was they shipped a pizza that was just lathered in buffalo sauce and a medium pizza that was pepperoni. So then Jack Dunn didn't want the topping on his pizza, and you can't take off buffalo sauce. So me, Abby, and Tommy ended up eating the fucking buffalo pizza, and Jack Dunn took the toppings off of our medium pepperoni pizza.
I need to find this video. But
the
other
sent
time.
you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look in our chat.
I can quote it for you. I already know it well enough.
What one is it?
The one
The pepperoni sausage sauce situation.
Yeah, where he was like, not sauce, sausage. He's like,
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember this video at all.
pepperoni that shit. Do you
What?
not remember that video?
I think there was one time when there's a video of when we were hanging out at Jack Dunn's house when Sandquist was there, and you and VK were like on the couch together, like watching a video, and then Sandquist comes crawling up on you guys, and then you guys just both look at me as I'm recording the video, and the caption is just, "Man, this kid is a creep."
Yeah.
Jack Dunn's house, we definitely hold some memories there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Weird
Do you
that I
remember the
haven't been there in so
banana?
long.
The banana slingshot?
Okay, let's tell that story. Let's tell that story. Okay. That's actually the first time I ever met VK.
Why can't we tell that story?
I just said let's tell that story.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell because I've told like half the stories.
I have the video too.
Okay.
Basically, we were sitting in Jack Dunn's dad's office room, and then there was like these like blue bungee things that Tommy found downstairs.
Yeah, like these exercise like
Yeah,
stretchy things.
Stretchy bands. And Jack Dunn had like what would you call it?
A bunch.
A quartet of bananas.
Or a bunch. Okay. A quartet.
I don't know. And so Tommy decides, well, when Jack Dunn gets in here, let's just try to slingshot this into Jack Dunn.
Yeah.
So he takes this. I don't know how you held it on the
So,
sides. I think you held it on the
Tommy
sides.
was crouching with his hands in the air, holding the two sides of the bungee thing, like the two ends. And I put the bananas in the middle and walked backwards and launched like a slingshot
Yes.
the bananas. And the video, Jack then just goes, what the fuck? And then Jack Dunn starts chasing me, and you can just hear in the very far background me just scream.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then VK is just laughing. And that's the same day we played Mario Kart. All these stories were just shitting on Jack Dunn. We played Mario Kart, and Jack Dunn tripped.
Do you think he's gonna listen to this?
No, not a chance. I think that, well, the only chance that Jack Dunn ever hears this is if Carl or Daniel Burrow tells him about it.
Yesterday we went swimming at the falls
Oh,
and
I
Veronica
found
thought
the
she was
video.
dying because she missed the rock to get out.
So I lost my croc.
Yeah, and she lost
your croc.
Forever?
Okay, I found,
There's, like,
yeah,
yes,
like just
it's
it just
gone.
floated
Never
in the
coming
river.
back.
I finally I honestly I didn't know there was like rocks underwater that you could hold on to.
I didn't know there was rocks underwater. What the
No,
fuck?
like I didn't know like it was like
because they
you
didn't
wouldn't-
explain it to us. They
Yeah,
said you
so,
have
like,
to get out at
there
this
was
rock.
like this one rock, bigger rock that went above water, and they like made it so it seemed like if you didn't touch that
everyone's
rock,
like, if
you
don't-
died.
Yeah.
Like
They
you
were
just
like,
go
yes,
down the
they were
river.
like, yeah.
Oh, I see.
So my adventure strap came off, and it was like the current was like dragging my
okay,
croc
on the crash.
and pulling me back.
Okay.
So I like panicked because I was missing the rock at this point. And so I just like kicked it off and it just floated down the river.
That story.
So now I don't know.
It was really fun.
And now you
Okay.
just killed some innocent fish with your croc.
Maybe.
Eventually down the river.
Okay, I found the video though. Of
The
Well, I just
slingshot.
ran into the video of JF trying to do a backflip at the.
at the
Homecoming?
dance.
Oh my god.
Classic story.
Oh, Lucas, do you remember this?
If it's the video of Jack Dunn. Yeah. Yeah. That was
Okay,
funny.
can I play this video?
Yeah, sure. You could, well, it's not gonna matter because they can't hear it. But wait, what is this video?
Oh shoot.
What the fuck is that video?
Hold on.
That's not the banana
I
video.
think it is.
No,
well, I
it's
guess
the,
we're gonna find out.
it's the people.
Order the damn pizza, Carlos.
That's me saying order the.
I know what to do. I'm trying.
What is Jack?
I just clicked on an ad.
He looked so different.
Just call. Hell no. Hey, I can't order that shit. Pepperoni, that shit. Where the fuck is the sauce?
His voice is so high.
I've never seen this video.
Okay.
Jake said Quistazaine's patient serum.
Just do full pack. Just do full pack. No, I can just take. I'll eat it.
We'll just do half that.
Oh my god. Fine. No, get full pack. No, full half is fine. Okay, yeah. No.
I'm gonna hope that video. I'm gonna hope that you can hear that video.
Ever. I'm
Ever.
so proud of that. I took that. I just am so glad.
Is it, okay. Let's just stop showing images that I can't show on the
Yeah.
screen.
You should.
Or video.
You should put it on the podcast screen.
What, the video or the image?
Both.
I can't put that image on because that image is inappropriate.
Okay.
Oh, Aaliyah just had shivers go down her spine from that image. Let's just say for the people listening that will know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say what it is. It's a picture of Sandquist when he's on vacation in
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
He had
So-
some fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay.
it's not as bad as you're alluding to. All right. Anyways, okay. What do we got to say? What do we got? What else do we have to talk about?
I have to leave in like 2 minutes.
Oh wow.
Thank you, Chantel.
A classic Chantel thing to do on the podcast. Leaving before we are done with it. No, I'm
Well,
just
we
kidding.
started so late.
I know. Well, we did talk for a while before this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my conversation is my conversation with you guys is sad. Well, I can't. Never mind.
That would have been good if we got all that.
Well, that's kind of when we
No,
were.
I was
That would've
thinking
been
about
so
that. I was
good.
like, this should be the podcast
Yeah.
right now.
Just that would be
Chloe's laugh.
Chloe's
That should've
laugh.
been our
That was so
intro.
funny.
That would've been
that would be like a podcast with me, my mom, my dad, Chloe, Henry, Abby, VK, Chantal, and
Your
Leah.
bunny.
And the bunny.
And the rabbit.
That'd be
That'd be a banger episode. Sadly, my dad, Chloe, and Henry were just on, so they can't be on just in succession. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whatever. That would have been funny though. We were talking about too much like people private matter
Yeah.
spilling the tea that we can't talk about on the podcast.
That's true.
And there's a lot that like, I mean, it's just a podcast. Like, you can't like see Henry in his outfit.
That's true.
Oh yeah, there was one part. Yeah, so so Henry was hiding from. Well, he was hiding from Chantel. For whatever reason, but he comes downstairs in this costume of Darth Maul from Star Wars, and it was pretty funny.
Speaking of
You
Star
had to be
Wars,
there.
Aaliyah has never been here, and I feel like once you come here, you need to see the room.
Well,
So-
well, we'll wait. I'm just waiting for this to be done.
Room.
Oh,
There's a
the room.
room.
Wait, he's there?
Who is that?
Yeah,
Marcus.
Alex is there.
What the fuck? They don't even talk to them. Never mind. Stop showing. Never mind. Who cares?
Wait, that's weird for me.
How is it? Oh, I see. That's really funny. That's a big coincidence. Never mind. We're just gonna be done.
Who's is that on? I kind of want to.
Mark.
Okay, let's just stop talking about things that we can't talk about. All right, we got 2 minutes, come on, guys, until we get to an hour. Oh, we're already an hour. We can be
my
done.
gosh.
Never mind.
That's awkward.
So, anything you guys want to finish talking about? Because VK, there's a chance that it's gonna be another 23 episodes until you're on again.
Well, that's not my fault.
Okay. You the last time you said, "Hey, can I be on the podcast so I can tell my story about the kittens?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." That was right before you left to go to Colorado, I think.
It was not.
Oh.
I remember podcasts coming out after and not being asked to be on.
Oh. It's weird because it's weird to hear that you were mad that you weren't asked to be on it, because I've asked so many people today to be on the podcast and they're like, "Sorry, bro, I can't make it." So it's weird that there's people out there that want to be on the podcast but can't.
I mean, it's not like I need to be on it like every week.
Well, no shit, but
Like when I like had something I wanted to talk about.
yeah.
Talk about.
Talk about.
I can't speak
No,
sometimes.
it's
I'm gonna sound like such an idiot. People are gonna like listen to this here and be like, "Talk about." And I'm just gonna like literally sound like not the smartest person to ever.
not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. We've had worse people on. Just kidding.
Thanks. Alright.
Okay. Well, any closing thoughts, Chantel?
Not appropriate.
No appropriate thoughts to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Abby, anything to talk about?
No. Thanks for having me, Lucas.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you, Abby.
Aaliyah, what did you think?
Aaliyah,
I thought-
first time.
This was quite fun, to say the least. I had a very good time.
And we always hope that Hannah takes out the trash next week.
Yeah.
And the wig does not
Oh,
bother
I'll be
Hannah.
with her tomorrow. I'll give you updates.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a funny, actually, this is the last story I can tell because this is not very long. It was your birthday the other day, Aaliyah? Or, like, not the other day, it was like a month ago.
No, it was like a couple weeks ago.
It was like a
Oh
month
my
ago.
god, a month ago. Continue.
So, I realized that, me and you are pretty good friends, so I'm like, would it be weird to wish her happy birthday? Like, I was like, am I, like, what level friends am I with Aaliyah that I can ask? Because I knew it was your birthday because I saw it. So I was like, well, Aaliyah was at my birthday party. So,
Oh my god, I was!
yeah, but, yeah, see, so I was like, well, I'll wish her happy
You had
birthday.
a birthday party?
Yeah, you were there.
I don't know if I was.
Yeah, you were there. It was on my birthday, and we played.
Was I there?
We
was
played
there.
that-
That was so
Every-
fun.
Oh, I wasn't here.
VK was gone.
I was not
We
there.
played. You
Yes,
were
you
there.
were. Ew. Oh.
All right. Well, censor that out. But we played Quiplash. Abby, you were one of the last people there. Jack Dunn was there. There's a fact about the party that you will remember when I tell you about it, but I can't say it on the podcast.
You were there.
You were there. Just
It was
take
like
my word
after
for
a
it.
basketball game. or
Yeah,
something.
it wasn't like it was heavily centered towards my birthday. It was just we were here. It was around Christmas because that's when my birthday is.
We like
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of were just like, oh, we're here for Lucas's birthday. We'll just eat some food. We played Quiplash. It's like my favorite game. To play with you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. But
You were there. Just trust me. So, anyways, I Snapchat Aaliyah and I was like, "Happy birthday! Hope you have a fine 3 minutes because it was like
That's
it was
I
like
was,
it was
I
like
was
11
with her.
it was
and
like
I saw that, and I was like, when
11:57
it's
p.m.
3 minutes before her birthday.
I remember that. That made me chuckle.
So it's a thought that counts.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Oh, you're
Alright,
welcome.
anyways, she has to leave. But
Okay.
I want her to see the room.
Well, we'll do that after we're done with the podcast.
Alright.
All right. Good episode. Thank God that you guys were able to make it, because as soon as you were with VK and you're like, "What's up, Lukas?" I was like, "Oh, that'd be nice to me," but at the same time, I'm like, "Oh, maybe I can trick them into doing the podcast because I don't have
no.
anybody do it."
No, we would do it.
I know. Because literally, I was being very desperate towards the end. Like I was reaching toward. Not because I reached out towards like a bunch of people. So I'm not saying that if I asked you, it was like the worst possible thing. But like, whatever. Who cares? It was just like, this podcast has to come out in 12 hours, so I got to get this. And I don't know who's going to be on it. But that was a good episode. All right. Someone say something to, someone say like a...
Adios, amigos.
My mom recently started teaching me how to play the tambourine.
Oh, that's nice.
Why the tambourine?
It's harder than you think.